Nebraska beef, the best the U.S. has to offer, coming up on Grow. That marketing strategy is helping boost beef trade, and some say it can keep growing. And drought threatening to linger into next growing season. The bullseye hitting farmers right in south central Nebraska. And bringing innovation to the farm, caring for the land. Our Farm Family of the Month. Get ready for NTV's Grow. Nebraska beef exports top $1 billion, and now this week comes a new trade deal that should only increase that. And that's our top story. State leaders just returned from Europe, where they visited 4 countries. In the last decade, the state has made an effort to market Nebraska beef as the best the U.S. has to offer. And now half of all American beef eaten in Europe comes from Nebraska.
And, I think we still have opportunity to increase that market share. While we were at the Seattle International Food Show, we sat down with importers from China because we're anticipating that that market's going to open sometime in the next few months. And so we've already started talking about promoting Nebraska beef in the Chinese marketplace as well.
10 years ago, Nebraska's overall share of U.S. beef exports was relatively low, around 4%. Now worldwide, it's up to 20%, and the governor and egg leaders think there's room to grow. You pay the money. Find out an example of what those checkoff dollars are doing. Here's an example from restaurants.
Hi, I'm Christina McKee. Let me tell you a little bit about what the beef checkoff is doing to promote our product to food service operators. We have wonderful opportunities for individuals involved in food service and the restaurant business. We have worked to do anything we possibly could to increase beef demand, and in food service we have offered them menu options that maybe included beef as appetizers, or expanding their dinner menus with different beef entrees that maybe we haven't typically seen in the past.
Plans for a livestock trailer washout business are back. Chad Ruda of Fremont runs a number of truck washout businesses serving the cattle hauling business. He proposed building at the former racetrack site by Doniphan, south of Grand Island, but Hull County supervisors voted no after complaints from neighbors about manure and odor. Now he's back with a new application at a new site. He wants to build about a mile west of the Bosselman Travel Center, so near I-80 and Highway 281. A hearing has been set for Tuesday in Grand Island. Ruda says there needs to be a place to clean out those livestock trailers where materials can be recycled instead of being dumped illegally. A crash victim getting some help this harvest season. Cambridge Volunteer Fire Department Assistant Chief Darren Wolf was temporarily disabled in a car accident while responding to a fire call a couple months ago. He was unable to do his own harvest of 11 fields and about 650 acres, and that's where his squad members came in.
We knew he wasn't going to be able to get her done, so a couple of us on the fire department decided we'd spearhead and get some help, and neighbors all were generous about helping. So
those volunteers did in one day what it would take Wolf a month to do, harvesting 75,000 bushels of corn.
We got a lot of help. A lot of people helped us. I'd miss somebody if I said thanks, but I'm just going to thanks for everybody that come out and helped us get this done. Appreciate it.
Yeah, how the neighbors and community have come together and help. I'll turn around. I owe a lot of people favors, so I'll turn around and do the same when somebody's down one of these days, and that's the way it works around here.
5 8-row combines were used and a 16-row picker that was donated by a local implement company, along with several grain trucks to bring in Wolf's harvest. Warm, dry days, beautiful harvest weather helping to bring the crop in. Corn is 50% harvested in Nebraska, 67% of sorghum is in the bin, soybeans 78% harvested. That's from the USDA crop report. Harvested was 78%, behind 87% last year and 86% average. Drawing comparisons to the Dust Bowl days of the 1930s, drought takes a toll on south central Nebraska. An area of drought stretches from Holdridge to Grand Island. Farmers in that area have surely noticed it may not be widespread, but meteorologists say it's actually pretty staggering. The bullseye is right over Minden, where they have received a little over 5 inches of rain since June, a third of what folks would normally get.
It's going to be the second driest June through October on record, trailing only 1936. So you're talking 5.5 inches of rain during that period. That's just not enough to sustain pretty much anything, let alone crop production.
And as bad as it is, the rainfall amounts vary greatly. The north side of Hastings has about 5 more inches in that span than the west side of the same city. And meteorologists say it could linger into the next growing season on the farm. That drought just is not going away.
Yeah, we've really had this small, very concise area, parts of Adams and Kearney County, even Southwest Hall and Buffalo County, that have not been able to get really any appreciable rainfall over a long period or over a wide area all summer. We were looking back here, and the Minden area has got about a third of its normal rainfall since June 1st. It's going to be the second driest June through October on record, trailing only 1936. So
right around Labor Day, they got, some areas actually got some flooding and whatnot. They had more rain in a couple of days than they had all summer or all year even.
Yeah, one of the issues is when you're in a period of drought and you get a heavy rain, we all want plenty of rain, but if it comes too fast, it runs off, it causes flooding problems. That ground needs a little bit of priming. That ground gets so hard, it's almost like concrete. So really would like to see a rain come at a slower rate. We can still take plenty of rain, but if we can get it at a slower rate, we're better off. And the rain that we had in southern Adams County a month and a half ago was way too much, way too fast.
Drought, a lot of times it is kind of slow moving thing and is probably slow to come out of.
Yeah, there's no question. Sometimes drought kind of creeps up on you. Oh, you get some rain here and there, and then all of a sudden, wow, maybe we didn't get enough rain. It's been warmer than normal. That's also another factor when it comes to drought. But yeah, you don't usually get out of drought very quickly, and there's no reason to think that going into this winter. The winter outlook is really not that favorable for high amounts of precipitation. There are always exceptions. There can be events that happen that maybe drop a heavy snow or even a good rain early in the winter. But overall, the winter forecast for this winter just really doesn't support a real positive outlook, unfortunately. A sergeant from the Army's elite 1st Ranger Battalion comes back to the farm. Here's more about a USDA program helping those beginning and veteran farmers.
So I did just under 5 years with the 1st Ranger Battalion. I had 4 combat deployments, 3 to Iraq, 1 to Afghanistan. And my last deployment to Afghanistan, I was wounded by the Taliban in a near ambush. Word of mouth in the community, I had heard that I need to go up and talk to the USDA and I need to talk to the Farm Service Agency. So that led me to Mr. Rubin here at the Farm Service Agency, and he told me, he's like, hey, there are programs that we offer that you need to be signing up for. I had no idea what he was talking about. I had no idea that any of these programs even existed before I walked in there. So first thing you would want to do, transitioning from the military as a veteran like myself, you need to call your Farm Service Agency. You need to set up an appointment. And once you're in that office and once you sit down, they walk you through and they'll tell you not only what you're eligible for, but how to go about it. What paperwork do you need to file? And they won't just tell you, hey, form 214. They'll say, hey, here's the form right here. I'll print it out. We'll go over it together. And they'll help you through that process and kind of shoot you in the right direction.
He came in and it was all new. It was all, and we sat there a good hour and a half talking about all this. And nowadays we'll be able to help him out as far as he's learned a lot as far as being on the farm loan part of it, what we can do for him. And then we talked about farm loan where he's able to qualify for low financial loans, which to help his operation grow as far as what he's wanting to do in the next 10 years.
I'd hardly even seen a cow before I invested in them, and it's kind of been a learning experience since day one. But conveniently, this community out here has really supported me. There's a lot of older cattlemen who've been doing it for years who've really taken me under their wing and really helped me out, and I can call them And like Mr. K, I can call him twice a day, every day, with every idea that I come up with or any questions I have, regarding just simple stuff like how to dehorn and vaccinate calves to how to market genetics worldwide.
10 years ago when you said Wagyu, they say, "Wow, what? What is that?" So now people, when you say, I raise Wagyu cattle, they say, "Oh, I had one of those steaks. It was fantastic." So it does my heart good to see these young guys get in there and get started. And he is very avid. He is remarkable. He's gone at every end of it. I've tried to coach him. I've tried to slow him down a few times. I've told him a lot of things don't do, and he's listened to that, so it helped because I've already made a mistake, so no use somebody else paying for him again. So he's been a great student, and he's a real go-getter.
The biggest thing I think Ranger Cattle has done for me personally, transitioning from the military, was it gave me a means of transition. It gave me something I can put my name behind, a product. I used to wear a uniform that bared my name on it. I took great pride in wearing that uniform. Well, now my name is Ranger Cattle, and we take great pride in producing that product. So Ranger Cattle has become a means to continue to serve our community even after the military. And so I'd like to serve the nation and not just Austin.
Still to come, our Farm Family of the Month. Up next, Precision Ag as a Career. Learn more from CCC.